Hey guys, I'm bringing you my Stamp Sorc build for the Shadow of the Hist update. So let's get into it. So first off, I'm an Orc. You can either use Orc or Redguard. Those are your best two options. You can also use Imperial. Those are the best three. 64 points in stamina. And you can either be Werewolf or Vampire. It's on the PTS. I can't show you those, but you could choose either one. Um, Vampire would be better for like stealth and stuff. Werewolf would be, it'd actually have more stamina recovery, and just Werewolf is pretty good with this build. So I use the tower and max health and stamina. So we have pretty good stats: 42k stamina, 23k health, and our weapon damage fully buffs around 3k, and 40k weapon critical. And the weapon damage being lower, around 3000, gets made up by the max stamina. And since you have so much stam and a decent amount of recovery, you really don't run out at all. Plus we have Dark Deal, so yeah, you're pretty much having an infinite amount. And decent resistances. Alright, so now the gear is really interesting. I've been thinking about this for a while. It's just very difficult to get, but with this with the new update, it's actually a lot easier. There's vendors that sell these pieces, but so here you go. So I have 4 pieces of Hawkeye and 4 pieces of Crusader. Obviously they're all medium, you can just buy it from the merchants, but it's in these new cities. So what you'd want is you'd want either impound everything. That's more of a defensive build. Or if you want just solely offense. Plus this is a really good build for a group. So impen isn't as valuable, but it's definitely still helpful. If you want to go all offensive, you use infuse on the big pieces. So infused, and then infused on those. And then all the small pieces use divines. So boost the serpent. So you've used 2 pieces of agility for the max stamina, and then 1 piece of Hawkeye. It really doesn't matter where the Hawkeye comes from. To be honest, it doesn't even matter what the actual setup itself is. So you need at least 1 piece. Like you can either have a Crusader here, and then 3 Crusader on the body, or 3 pieces of Hawkeye, then 1 on the accessory. It doesn't even matter which accessory it is. Just make sure you have 2 agility and that type of setup. Now I use Maelstrom as well. If you really want to, you could use agility, weapons as your third to finish it off, but Maelstrom is just better for the crit charge and stuff, but it's really up to you for that. So yeah, and you sharpen on both of these. Now for the abilities. I have Dizzying Swing as my first ability. It's just better for the knockback. It's better than uppercut. Then I have crit charge. You can also use Stampede, but since this is all just damage, crit rush is pretty good. Then a reverse slice, since this is a good group build. It does a lot of damage to other targets. And then rally, then bound armaments. And actually goes well with our high stamina to begin with, so it's pretty good. Then we have flawless Dawnbreaker, but actually I would recommend Dawnbreaker Smiting. I've been playing around with this, and I don't like how it doesn't stun. If it's stunned, it's a lot more helpful to me. And then here is we have a choice. So this is more or less if you're running with less people, you can run the bow. Or if you're just open world like solo, you can run the bow. But if you're running in a group, you can run dual wield. Maelstrom is good. Use sharpened. Use a sharpened dagger. You can use 2 sharpened daggers or 2 sharpened swords. Both good options. And you just use Steel Tornado. It's pretty good with this build. So then you have Dark Deal to get even more stamina and like a burst heal and shuffle. And because of this, we're not running Vigor. But if you would rather run Vigor, you could just switch it out here. Then we have Shuffle for the dodge stance and Hurricane for 5,280 resistances, and we just run faster and does a decent amount of damage AoE. And then we have Meteor, but this is also up to you. You know, if you're running in a group that needs it, you can run Suppression Field, or the other morph, you can run Atronach. You can even run Overload. All 3 of those are an option, but I've just ran Ice Comet for a little bit of a burst. And champion points now. Now, on the live game, you should have 100 in the Mooncalf, and then the rest into Warlord. Or what you can do is have 100 to Mooncalf, 20 to Tumbling, and then the rest into Warlord. And so for the next, you have 100 into Mighty, and the rest into Precise Strikes, so 77 into Precise Strikes. Then you have, you can have, make sure you have 60 in each, but right here I was just versing a guy that was doing physical damage, so I wanted to like negate him the most, but pretty much what you would want is pretty much 80 into each, and then the rest into here, so 17 into resistant. Oh, that's good. So I think I covered everything, but if you guys have any questions, you just ask in the comments. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it, guys. Let me show you the buff stats real quick. So, they're pretty decent. So, 3k weapon damage, 35k crit, 35% crit, decent resistances, 42k stam, and 43k health, and decent recovery as well. Plus, since you have such high stam and you're a sword, you have reduced costs. Even with more champion points, you'll have more stamina and more reduced cost. You really don't run out of stamina at all. And for that reason, you can run all weapon damage on your accessories. If you think you need more stamina, you can, but it's really not necessary to really boost up damage. Fully buffed. Your Dizzying Swing has a 15k tooltip, and then your Crit Rush has a 7k. And yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just ask them in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace.